Happy Saturday, everybody. So, hey, this is Ron over at CT RIA. Again, I wanted to make a quick video on a little landlording tip that, I think you'll find helpful. I hope somebody does. So, first of all, pardon my voice. My voice seems to be shot lately, and I can't figure out why. I normally don't sound nearly this sexy. So, hey, guys, so those of you who know me know that my wife and I own a lot of units. So just to kind of explain, so maybe some people who don't know us, that we bought CT RIA, me and a partner, and the reason we were approached by Linda and Joanne and Lou is that they were looking for the next chapter in their lives, but who could kind of take it over, might have some chops and can really add value, and so we've been talking for a while, and that ultimately led to me. So there's two parts to my wife and I's business. We're landlords, so we own and manage personally own just under 100 units that we own ourselves. But in addition to that, my wife owns a property management company, but she doesn't manage our units. I manage our units, 100% in fact. But she manages another 300 to 400 units. So between us, we manage a lot of units. And there's some things over the years that have become clear. So in our personal units, that my wife and I own personally, and let's just call it 100 for round number sake. So me and my team manage them. There's 3 people on my team. Do you know who they are? It's me, myself, and I, okay? So I manage all facets of our business, all rent collection, me, all maintenance calls, me, all vacancy showings, me, all tenant screening, me. The only thing I don't do is the bookkeeping. And here's why I don't do the bookkeeping. Because I'd end up in jail. I don't know how to do any of that. I'm too stupid to do bookkeeping. So within all that, and it probably takes me on average, I hate giving a number, maybe 10 hours a month, and that's it. And that surprises everybody. I've written books on the subject. I've traveled the country speaking. I do podcasts, TV shows, anything like that. And it's all about trial and error. Believe me, I'm not smart. I'm just very experienced, and I've got everything down to a system to minimize whatever activity I can, okay? And that comes from a lot of experience and mistakes, a lot of ugly crying and everything. So, but out the other side is that I can own and operate 100 rental units for 10 hours a month. And, listen, some months are worse than others, and there's a little luck in there always, but generally it's a smooth running machine. It allows me to leave the state for a couple months at a time, things like that, and to buy a RIA, so one of the things that I do is I do holding deposits. I can never understand why more landlords don't do this. I just don't get it. So what a typical landlord does is they put an ad wherever, and then they answer the phone. First mistake, by the way. Oh, okay, great. It sounds good. I'll meet you there tomorrow at 2:00 or whatever. So you show the place, and now landlords are getting smarter, and now they batch show them rather than one-on-one. Because if you're showing it one-on-one and it takes you 15 minutes to drive there, 15 minutes to wait around, 15 minutes to drive back, and 1 out of every 5 will not show up on you. I don't care if you just talked to them 10 minutes ago, hey, I'm on my way. And you get there and you hear crickets. There's nothing, right? So that's because they drove up, looked around, didn't like it, and they left. Do that enough times, you'll start batch showing it. Ask me how I know that. So guys, so what a typical landlord does is they'll show it and take a whole bunch of applications, right? And so then spread across their desk, I'm in the office this morning, spread across their desk is a whole bunch of applications. Now, the law says you can't just spread out all the applications and then pick out the one you like. You can't do that, okay? So you got to take the first qualified. So here's what ends up happening. You show it, on a Sunday night, let's say, or Sunday. And then, you get the application, you take the very first one that's qualified, and you now are going to start your calls, right? You're going to call their landlord, which is a waste of time, by the way. Don't call the landlord. Because if they're a lousy tenant, the landlord's going to say whatever they got to tell you to get them out, So I never trust the current landlord. So you're gonna call the boss, you're gonna verify employment, they're gonna run credit checks, you're doing all this stuff, right? And so by the time you get a hold of the people you got to get a hold of, maybe it's Monday night. So you think you've found your guy, right? That, hey, he's a great employee, makes, $14.85 an hour, like he said he did, everything's checking out. Boom. You call the tenant, hey, John, listen, congratulations, you looked at my apartment, Sunday, Well, guess what? You may think you've stopped your search, but they haven't. What they do is they're not just going to your apartment, especially on a weekend, they're going to look at a bunch of them. So you call them on Monday night and go, hey, congratulations. He's like, oh, my girlfriend and I got an apartment up in Windsor, so we're all set. It's like, oh. So now you got to call the second in line, okay? So now it could be Tuesday. Remember, you showed it on Sunday. That's why you see landlords with vacancies for a month or two. I have not lost a vacancy due to a move-in, move-out in 10 years. In 10 years. I'll repeat that. I have not lost a vacancy due to a move-in, move-out, due to the timing, for 10 years, or very close to 10 years. I don't remember the last one, let's put it that way. So I do it differently. I have a certain set of criteria that they have to meet, and that is simply this. It's rent times 3, okay? So if rent is $1,000, they need to gross, that means before taxes, I know you know that. That means they need to gross $3,000, okay? I do not deviate that. Of course, I'm gonna verify their employment that they've been at for 12 months, full-time employment, non-temp agency. You know, that's another trick that, oh, do you work full-time? Yeah, I work 40 hours. And it's a temp agency. You know, no, full-time employment, making 3 times the rent that you've been at least 12 months. And the next criteria is no prior evictions. And I check all 50 states, okay? So that's it. So Ron, but don't you check credit? No, okay? Why? It's not a good indicator. And the new law that passed doesn't list some debt as negative on the credit. So if you're relying on credit, here's what's gonna happen in the neighborhoods I own in, okay? It's different everywhere. You know, so if you're relying on credit, then you're gonna be weeding out everybody. Because remember, you've already lost 2 days. So now, remember that whoever moves in has to give 30 days notice to wherever they're living. And if they don't, they're not a good tenant. You know, so I use a holding deposit. Nobody ever uses these, and I had to X out because this is a live one. You know, so I like you like me, you have a full-time job making 3 times the rent that you've been at least 12 months, you have no prior evictions, great. Give me $400 right now. But Ron, I don't have $400. Great, I'll follow you to the ATM. I've been doing this for years. I take it off the market right then and there. Of course, then I go through the verification step. But now they've got skin in the game. He bails on me 6 days later or whatever, bye-bye $400. You know, so, and it's all written down and they initial it. It's not buried in the fine print. It's plain English the lawyers drew up, you know. So I'm taking it off the market. It is a holding fee. Notice I said it's not a holding deposit. Big difference. You know, so I take it off the market. No more calling all this. I'll call now. So if it takes me 2 days to get a hold of his boss, and sometimes it does, you know, that's okay. He ain't going anywhere. You know, so guys, if you're a landlord, consider doing a holding deposit. I'm not sure why more people don't do it. I've been doing it for years. And so you know, when I say I don't check credit, I've had 2 evictions in 10 years. Now, I've done cash for keys half a dozen times, and there's always a little bit of luck in there. I acknowledge that. However, I've had 2 evictions, so I'll put my track record up against anybody's in America versus evictions versus amount of units I own, okay? So, and I've owned these for a long time. So it's all in how you run your business. This is just one little step to minimize how many hours I gotta go show a unit. I like them, they like the apartment, they qualify, let's conduct business right now. You know, enough talky talk, let's light this candle, right? So guys, sorry about my voice, sorry about the rambling. I hope that tip helps somebody. Hey guys, go to ctria.com. We're the 5th largest RIA in the United States. We are minting millionaires. So CT RIA is an awesome organization. I'm truly humbled and blessed to be a part of it. And I'm looking forward to getting to know everybody. January 21st is our monthly meeting, and I think we've already pre-registered like 75 people. Normally, it's 0 this far out. So if you want to go to ctria.com and pre-register for the January 21st monthly meeting. Cameron Dunlap's going to fly in. And you know what? When I say he flies in, he flies his own plane in. That guy is a baller. Guys, thanks for watching. I hope everybody has an unbelievable Christmas, and I'm really looking forward to 2019 with all of you. Thanks.